Hello, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Saturday Night Sleepover. I'm your host, Charli, and today we're joined by Caitlin from the Wellness Mama podcast.
Hi.
We are having a delightful Monday morning here because the roads are all iced over, so we're stuck at home. So we're like,
Yeah.
let's record an episode.
I was even thinking this morning, I was like, man, I wish I had somebody I could just call and talk to because I'm kind of bored and there's nothing. I don't want to watch TV.
Well, this is perfect then. How's your ice day?
It's good. My husband still had to go to work, so he braved the icy roads at like 7 o'clock this morning.
Dang.
So I'm just hoping that he made it, so that's good. You know,
Well, good.
He's like, I should be able to make it home. I may not be able to pull up the driveway, but I'll be fine. I was like, okay.
Oh my goodness. I saw like an Instagram Reels video of this lady who had like an iced over driveway. She like busted one part of it and then stuck a spatula under it and then used a leaf blower to just like blow the ice away.
I remember one frosty day, Jed got a like a blowtorch and was blowtorching ice on the driveway. That was like maybe it was last year, I don't know. But yeah. I am not used to snowy, icy stuff. My driveway looks like an ice skating rink.
Ooh. I'm used to snowy stuff, but not necessarily icy stuff because like in where I got all my snow experience was in Utah, and there's black ice and stuff, but most of the time they're out like salting the roads like pretty much consistently as soon as it starts snowing.
Mm.
So the ice usually melts, and the big problem is the snow. And like sometimes you'll like have to leave before I would have to leave for work before the snow plows would get out. So I would have to drive on snow. And so I was like, I have a job now that gives me the day off when it's like icy and terrible outside. So I'm very, very, very grateful for that now.
Yeah, that's nice because I used to work at the hospital and I remember I was training and it was icy, snowy, terrible weather. And I was like, do I call in? Do I just go? Like it was like really hard to like I didn't want to since I was just in like my first, 90 days or whatever. And I was
Yeah.
like, I'll go and do anything,
Yeah.
But yeah, driving on the interstate when it's snowy is not fun.
Yeah, not fun at all. But that's what Colton was like in that debate this morning too. He's like, should I go in? Should I not? And I was like, well, I'm 2 hours delayed. Like I knew that last night going to bed, and then waking up this morning, they were like, actually, no, just we're canceling all day. And then I was like, we canceled all day, and then the other branch of Colton's work canceled all day, and I was like, the other branch is canceling all day. Your boss said she's not coming in. Like, just don't go. So
Yeah.
it's convenient because tomorrow is his birthday. So today is kind of
Aw.
like his birthday. Yay, let's be lazy day.
Did he take his birthday off? He should have
No,
taken the day off.
no, he's definitely not going to now though, because he might have, but he's definitely not going to now because he was like, well, I feel bad, and then he was like, I guess I'll just use my vacation day that I have for the ice day today. And I was like, okay, don't
Aw.
don't be silly. But anyway, so we are having a lazy day today. I'm still in my
Yes.
pajamas, and it is 10:30 in the morning on a Monday.
I like that the only danger really is just driving. I'm used to like hurricanes and stuff like that where it weather danger. I don't know. I get
Mm-hmm.
scared of weather because
Yes.
it's just like bad history. I'm like, oh, the weather's gonna come and it could take everything, but this doesn't feel as dangerous because it's just don't go anywhere.
Yeah, just
I
don't
can
go
do
anywhere.
that,
Stay
no
safe.
problem.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How are your chickens?
They're good. We invested in a heated watering device
Mm-hmm.
thing that you plug in.
Mm-hmm.
A bucket. It's a bucket. A heated bucket. And
I saw a thing on Instagram, and it was like go to the thrift store and buy a crock pot for $5 or whatever and keep it
I
on
saw
warm.
that too after we already got the bucket.
The fancy one.
Yeah. But the quail, we have to go and change their water regularly because we don't have anything heated for them. So it's just like every
Where
couple
they're so
hours.
little, you probably could get one of the $10 crock pots even from Walmart.
I didn't even think about that, putting a crock pot in there. Yeah, I don't know. I just hope that they all make it. They're gonna make it. And that's what I keep reading, that they're all designed to be cold. As much as you want to like keep them warm, they don't need it.
Yeah.
They have down coats on. You know, I'm like
I felt bad because I was like, it was like really cold here recently, like last week. And I would let the dog out and he would refuse to come in. And I'm like, okay, well, there's nothing I can do if you aren't going to come in.
aw, I want a dog. I was just thinking about it. It's been almost a year since our dog passed away, and we swore that we didn't want another dog. We were like, no, we're not going to do that. It's a lot of work. It's because when you have an elderly dog, it's a lot of work towards
Yeah.
the end, you know,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh God, do you really want to go through that again? But then now that it's been a year, I'm like, gosh, I miss having a dog. I had my mom's dog come and visit
Mm-hmm.
over Christmas, and my mom stayed in a hotel, so we kept her dog at the house.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like so nice having a little friend, you know.
Well, you can watch Doug anytime you want.
Aww. What kind of dog is Doug again?
He's an Australian Shepherd Poodle.
Oh, he's probably cute.
He's so cute. He's the cutest dog in the world.
Aw,
He's like 30 pounds. I call him perfect backseat size.
that is a good
And
size.
he's like black, and he's like starting to get some gray on his face because he's like 7 now.
Oh.
But he's like got like wavy curly hair. It's like it's like not like as curly as the poodle hair, but
Mm-hmm.
still hypoallergenic, and he doesn't shed really,
Hmm.
except for in the changing of seasons.
Interesting.
He's the best dog ever.
Aw. Yeah.
Nothing can change my mind.
Well, I'll just agree with you since I don't have anything to reference. My dogs were not the best dogs ever. They were annoying.
what kind of what kind of
I
dog was your dog?
so I actually inherited these little blonde weenie dogs from Jed. They were my step dogs, and my stepdogger, she was a little priss, and honestly, the cutest thing, long haired, blonde mini weenie dog, like the cutest little um pampered pedigreed pooch you'd ever see, was Jed's dog, if you can imagine. For
Why
those
did
that
Jed get this dog?
for those that don't know what he looks like, he's this very masculine man with a blonde weenie dog.
Yeah, it's like
They
it's
say
like
that
if
you
Chuck
look like your
Norris
dog.
had a
Yeah,
blonde
yeah.
weenie dog.
So he got these, and there was two of them. They were husband and wife. He got them in Japan. These were my Japanese dogs, and I have their Japanese papers because they were certified. And it was cool because
Mm-hmm.
you can see their lineage, and they all have these cool Japanese names like Ryoku, blah blah, like long, like because you
Mm-hmm.
can see their pedigrees. I've never in my life. I've always had mutts from the pound. Like I would never buy
Yeah.
a dog, but anyway, they came with him. He got them whenever he was in Japan, and they lived until they were like 13 and 16.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, the 16-year-old, that was the female. That was the one that she liked to pee everywhere. That
Oh
was,
no.
well, not that, I mean, you can't, it's not her fault. I feel bad because I've had children and she did have puppies. So I'm like,
Uh-huh.
I'm like, I get it, girl,
Yeah. Well, after a while, because we also had a senior dog before we got Doug, so I knew what I was getting into. Because I had my dog from whenever I was a kid. Um, we got him when I was like 10 or whatever, and then he came. I went off to college, and my mom and stepdad didn't want the dog anymore, so they were like, "Well, we're gonna like." we don't know what to do with him. We don't want him anymore. So you have to figure out what to do with him. And I was like, okay. So I called up my dad and I was like, Dad, can you watch my dog until I'm done with college? Cause I can't take this dog. And so then my dad watched him, and then I graduated and moved around a bit, and then I got married. And then after we got married, we bought a house. And so after I bought a house, I was like, okay, I'll take my dog back. So we had that dog for like the last year-ish of his life.
Aww.
And it was really sad. I called him my sad old dead dog. Even though he wasn't dead, he just like looked like he was dead. But at this point, like it was my dog. It was like a lot of people might put that dog down, but my dad was really attached to the dog too at that point, because he'd had him for like 6 or 7 years. And so and my dad is very anti like killing animals, even if they're in pain or anything like that. He's like, well, I'm old, are you gonna kill me? Like that's how he that's it. That's how he thinks about it. So I was like, well, I can't very well kill this dog. I have to keep it alive. And so he was 17, and he didn't have very quality life at the end, which was really sad, but we made it as good as possible. And so I fully understood, like, I think that it's important to like be with a senior dog that like doesn't have that like doesn't have the quality of life, like see what you're getting into when you get a puppy.
Yeah.
And so I'm glad that I experienced that so that I could like say, okay, I know that that's what I want for having a dog. And now I have Doug, and I know that that's going to happen one day, unless he is a silly goose who gets hit by a car or something.
Yeah. It's hard whenever you have to make that decision. You're like, am I making the decision? Or the male dog, that he had his spleen like explode. So
no.
that was like an emergency situation, but in a way it was easier because it was out of our hands,
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't like we were making that choice because
Yeah.
we were tired of it. Like my girl, because she lived forever. We would always joke that she would never die.
Yeah.
Oh, that's too funny. But yeah, so we've been thinking about getting a new dog.
Just remember.
Yeah, I know, right? But I followed a bunch of like animal rescue places, and I keep showing pictures to the family, like, what about this one? This one's kind of cute. But it's hard. It's like, oh gosh, what if you pick one that gets like pancreatitis all the time? That would be terrible. I don't know.
Or like a diabetic dog or something.
Right? Yeah.
I already have a diabetic human that
They've
lives
got
with
a
me.
thyroid problem, and you got to give them medicine every day.
Yeah. Or I have friends that their dogs have, or I've known a few people actually that their dogs have allergies, like food allergies, to the point where they have to give them like very expensive, ridiculous diets.
Oh gosh. Yeah, that's it. That's towards the end. That's what happens. You start making their food. You have to set aside a whole day for that.
Yeah.
Oh goodness. But so I did something fun this past weekend that I thought that you might be interested in.
Tell me about it.
I did an authentic relating games workshop. I don't know. Have you ever heard of authentic relating?
Well, I listened to your podcast.
You did
episode.
listen to? Okay,
yeah,
so that's with Hallie. That's who we did it with. That's the gal. So you heard, you kind of understood a little. I was telling people, I was like, it sounds weird. Go listen to the podcast. I don't really know how to explain it. And they let her explain it.
Yeah.
So it was cool. I got to see it in action.
Yeah.
And
it's somewhat like recreation therapy.
Ooh, what's recreation therapy? I've not heard of that.
It's like it's like somewhat, so you like do a task and then you like process the task. So like when I worked in mental health, things that they would do for recreation therapy is they would like take people on like solo camping trips where you like learn about yourself by facilitating like alone time, or Like they would do silly uh like games where you have to, like the floor is lava kind of a thing, where you have to work as a team with somebody and like process how like you communicated through like
That's cool.
yeah.
We should do that. Even like, do we like, you know, how many times I hear people say that they would love to go on like a mental health vacation, like just go and check in somewhere, you know, and just have a
Mm-hmm.
break. That those sort of things I think should be normalized. Is like, I need
I'm
to
here
go
for
do
it.
my floor is lava game. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah. So that's
So
what recreation. Anyway, tell me about authentic game night.
yeah, so it was not a game night in a sense of like floor is lava, you know, like more of like a word game. And it was just I guess another, it was almost like a meet another person or communicate with another person on a level that you don't usually like do with small talk whenever you first meet people.
Mm-hmm.
And it about she called it nonviolent communication skills. So um basically being able to communicate as an observer and like from a perspective that's outside of your own, you know, like if you can, teaching you how to listen from that perspective as well, so that's not like you're clouding, you're judging with your own views, beliefs, you know,
Yeah.
life. And I was like, okay, this is really good. But I did feel like it's definitely not a, it's almost like a skill, not something that's like a I don't know. I guess I didn't take notes. If I had taken notes, then I could have like, you know, like not, but I'm like, I'm gonna have to like do another one to really understand, because it wasn't a super big group, which I feel like it would be more beneficial if it was just like really random, because it was a smaller, more intimate group. You could hear what other people were, you know, around you. And of course you had this like assumed, you know, anonymity where you could, you know, be vulnerable in a space, in a safe space. But she asked questions basically to kind of like, or encouraged us to ask each other questions that like inspired curiosity. And she said like, what would you want someone to ask you if you wanted them to know you? And I was like, huh, okay, I don't know. So that was like, I've never been asked a question like that, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And then at the end, you offered the other person that you've been like having a conversation with, basically. It kind of teaches you how to have a conversation by just listening and not interrupting or interjecting your own story. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But at the end, you tell the person what you thought of them whenever you first met them, and then after talking to them you learned that they are, you know, a little bit different, or this, here's how you feel about them now. And it was cool because generally people don't tell you how they feel about you, you know what I mean? Like
Uh-huh.
that's not like a normal thing to be like, you know, when I met you I thought you were a bitch, and then and then now I realize that you've gone through a lot, and you know,
Yeah.
like so it was interesting, it was really cool, it was a good practice to like be more authentic with people. And I would like to enhance that for, you know, just basic life skills, I think.
Totally. It reminds me of have you ever played the game We're Not Really Strangers? Or
Ooh, no, but yes, I bet it does, because we definitely found something that I was like, oh, we have this crazy connection. That's so interesting, you know? What is that
yeah.
game though? How do you play that?
So I don't really remember everything about it. There's like 3 rounds I remember. And like the first round is like um what you think about one person, and then what you think about yourself is the next round, and then like what you think about your relationship together or something like that. It's like you like have to, they like ask you questions like that. It sounds very similar to what you did
Hmm.
the other night.
But yeah, she said that she's going to do another one for Valentine's Day. It's going to be a cacao and connection. So it's intended for couples, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So that should be interesting. I hope that it has a good turnout. It sounds like it'll be fun. Do you want to do it? It's on Valentine's Day though. I don't know if you do. Do
On
you do
Valentine's
stuff?
Day, well, I mean, I don't like necessarily have any plans with my husband on Valentine's Day,
Mm-hmm.
but for the art nonprofit that I deal with, we are doing a Valentine's Day event on that night.
Oh,
So we're
what are
gonna
you
do
doing?
like, it's a paint night.
Oh, like a paint by, painting with
Yeah,
a twist
like
kind of deal.
yeah. So it's we're having like a paint, like someone on our board is an artist and art teacher,
Mm-hmm.
and she's going to like lead a group of people through. You could either do like, it's going to be like pictures. I think she decided like lovebirds, and like each person could do a painting that like goes together, or you could just come by yourself if you want and do it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, and then there's going to be like charcuterie and other stuff too. So it's, yes, I have to be there to help
Yeah, no,
facilitate
that's
that event.
important. That's important.
Which I would have come to the authentic game night, but I also had to facilitate another event on that night.
Oh, so you're
So
like a big deal event person, planner.
yeah. Well, I don't know. I wouldn't say big deal, but events are part of my job.
Well, that's why you're going to be so great helping with the podcast convention.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
So,
We
don't we
actually
have
have
a
our
meeting
first
coming up?
Yeah, we do on Friday.
I don't
And
know if I'm going
I
to be able
feel,
to make it. I might have to tune in virtually. It depends on if I can
don't,
get stuff to cover the shop or not.
don't tell me that,
I
because
know, I
I
want to
had to like
go.
take the day off. Like
You took the
everybody else
day
was,
off?
yeah, well, I had to take a half day because everybody
Because
else, I guess, doesn't have like a day job or something.
I know, I'm
Because
like,
they
why are y'all
scheduled it
meeting
for
at
2
3
p.m.
Was it 2 p.m.? Yeah, what
It's
are y'all
either 2
doing?
or 3. Like, I don't know, but I took the day off at 1 and I was like, hey, I guess I'll go to this thing, but whatever. I have too much time that I have to take off anyway. So
Yeah,
it's a
well,
good enough excuse as any.
I might see if I can get coverage to be there, but if not, then I'll just like tap in virtually.
Well, why didn't you offer your space then? We could have gone to your shop.
I should have, because that would have been way better. Y'all want to come to the shop
in
next time?
in
That
the
would have
group
been way
text,
more
I
convenient.
tried to offer your space in the group
Yes,
text,
it's
but you
always
didn't
available.
answer.
What group text? Am I not in the group text?
Are you on the Slack?
Yeah, but I guess it doesn't tell me notifications. I need to maybe look. Shit. Yes, always at the shop. Let's meet there anytime. I will be there.
You should call Ty, because I think he has a place reserved, but I think if it was free, he would rather go to a free place.
Is he paying for a place?
I think he might be, because he
If
called
he's
me and
paying-
asked me my opinion on this place, and I was like, I've never been to that place
Where
before.
is
I
he
don't
going?
know.
I thought it was a coffee shop. Or he
It is
changed.
a coffee shop. Yeah, it's the Onyx coffee shop, but I think he's like paying for like a boardroom or like reserving a room or something.
Oh, well, yeah, come do it at the shop. It's totally free. But it's all the way in Rogers.
Literally,
Is that...
tried. I know. Well, I mean, the other one's in Fayetteville, so it's fine either way.
Yeah, okay. Well, I'll have to figure out and be like, hey, that would be a 2 birds, 1 stone situation if I didn't even have to leave the shop.
Exactly. That's what I'm trying to say. I tried to like be like, hey, Caitlin
would be cool with it.
Does your shop have a room?
Yeah, because we have
and
a
then
community room.
No answer.
Yeah. Oh, yikes. Well, now I feel bad. Okay, that's okay. I will have to say, hey, can we change the location?
So or you could just message Ty. Do you have his number?
Him? No.
I can give it to you.
Okay.
But I don't know how set he is on this coffee place in Fayetteville.
I mean, I have a tea kettle. We could do French press.
Or like we could like sometimes places will like cater coffee for pretty cheap.
Oh, really?
I know that because I get coffee catered pretty frequently.
Well, that sounds nice.
Just because it's like part of like my job.
That's awesome. Yeah, no, that would be totally fine. After we finish this, I'll make sure to respond to that and make sure that everybody knows, because I was like, dang it, I don't want to drive to Fayetteville.
Well, if you would have had your notifications on. I did this when he sent the schedule out. I like sent like a whole thing. I was so extra because he like sent out, he's like, here's this survey to see what time would be best. And I was like, well, it depends on what time would be best for me based on like how far away this place is going to be. So can we pick a place and then I will tell you how far away things or what time I can be free.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just like went ahead, other people went and responded to the survey, so he just went ahead and planned for a different time. And I was like, okay, but like here's this place and this place and this place. Anyway, Ty, if you're listening, I'm not complaining, I'm just
She's
saying.
Complaining.
Thank you for all of your hard work, Ty.
He is a hard worker. I have enjoyed seeing how like organized he is. But I pick the times that I prefer, and I only put like times I can't go, but I feel like that doesn't matter. It's not about me. I don't care. I'll just be there if I can be there, you know.
Yeah.
But don't we have are the meetings at the library starting in February or March?
Yeah, they're starting in February.
What time?
It's the fourth Thursday. So if you have a podcast and you live in Northwest Arkansas, you are invited. Or if you're thinking about starting a podcast and you live in Northwest Arkansas, you can come to I think I came up with this hokey name. It's called Pod Circle.
Aww.
So you can come to Pod Circle meetings. They're going to be on the fourth Thursday of every month at the Fayetteville Public Library in the reception room. I think that's what they call it. At
what time?
At 6:00. All
right. Do you have a flyer?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Because I would like to distribute it. We can hang one at the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, I have a graphic that I have tweaked like 47 times because it was going to be the third Thursday and then it was going to be the fourth Thursday. So now I think it's like set. So I can send it out.
It can be official. Yeah, because I've had a bunch of people ask me about podcast stuff and I'm like, we're doing a thing. You need to come, but I'll have details. I'll let you know. You know.
Yes. And Ty said that if we wanted to, he would move the meetings to be like directly after those. So like the conference meetings, we could like do the Pod Circle and then do the planning meetings right after, because he's planning on coming up for those, I think.
Okay, sweet.
Because he lives far away.
Yeah, he does. That's annoying. Why? Like, we should just do everything in Northwest Arkansas. It's better.
No shame on Southeast Arkansas. I don't know the area. I've never been there at all. I've only been there a couple of times.
Southeast Arkansas?
Well, isn't that the opposite of Northwest?
Isn't that Texas?
I don't know. I was just saying the opposite of Northwest.
It's because I always have people that tell me they're from Louisiana, but they're actually from Shreveport. And I was like, that's just South Arkansas.
That's funny. I don't know anything about Louisiana.
Oh, well, Shreveport's towards the top. It's not really. I don't know. I'm just being silly.
That's funny. Anyway, so yes, we have podcast stuff coming up and I'm really excited about that. And because I think it's going to be really fun to like be a part of the planning part, because I do a lot of planning and it all has to go through committees and all my decisions have to be like weighed and like approved by several other people, which I feel like for the conference, I feel like it's just us and we're just like, let's just do it.
That's cool.
I don't know. That's how I feel about it.
Yeah. I feel like I like being given artistic creativity control. I don't like being micromanaged.
Yeah, me either.
That's when I came to the decision. I was like, I don't want to work for anybody but myself ever.
Fair.
So I've been thinking about taking up pottery.
Yeah.
Is that something that you've ever done?
No. I have gone to the paint your own pottery places, but that's about it.
Or you just paint them? No.
Yeah.
I want to actually like create them on the wheel.
Yes.
Like but I don't know how hard it is, and I don't know if it's an expensive hobby, because I'm going to have to take lessons.
Yeah.
And then there's like the whole like materials. But I
Uh-huh.
want to create stuff. I might have talked about this before, but
I
I've
think so
done
too,
more
because
research on the
I think I
class.
know of a place that you can go
Is
around
it in
here.
Siloam? There's a
Yeah.
place in Siloam.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So
There's a place there.
that's what I was looking at. But then I was like, well, with the way the weather is lately, I guess I can't plan to do anything until February. Is
Well,
that,
I think this is probably the last part of the yucky weather.
you think so?
Yeah.
All
I'm
right.
expecting it. Because I remember last year it was like through January and then everything else. I mean, February's not that far away. It's like 10 days away.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing a winter sewing workshop soon. Have you ever done that?
Winter sewing workshop?
Yes.
Tell me
When
about it.
it is where you plant seed sowing, like seed sowing, not like
I
sewing
thought we were talking
a.
about sewing machines.
But I also want to do a sewing club, like a not a class because I don't want to teach anybody because I don't know how to thread your machine, but
Mm-hmm.
but a club where you could come and we could sew together. That would be fun.
Mm-hmm.
But no,
Yeah.
this is separate. I want to I want to do a winter sewing, seed sewing, where I did one last year and it was a lot of fun. But
Cool.
you take jugs, water jugs or milk jugs, the
Mm-hmm.
plastic kind, and you cut them in half, almost in half, and then you fill them halfway up with soil, and you plant your seeds inside the jug and tape it closed, and you
Mm-hmm.
leave the top hole open. So, oh, and it has drainage holes in the bottom, and then you leave it outside in the weather, in the elements.
Oh.
And it, like, you could do it in February, March. You could probably even do some now. But the seeds won't germinate until the temperature is the appropriate temperature for them to do it. But they'll be more hardened because they grew up in the
And the
outdoor
depression.
environment. Yeah. They'll be stronger for it for their but and then so the jug acts like a mini greenhouse.
Mm-hmm.
And so it keeps the moisture right. And once the plant grows big enough to where it can't fit in the jug anymore, and it's usually about springtime. That's whenever you open up the jug and kind of let it get used to the change of humidity before you
Mm-hmm.
fully open it. And then you can plant it, or you can separate the, like, if there's like 5 or 6 growing in the jug, you can separate them at this point and then plant them. And
Mm-hmm.
they usually do way better than seeds started indoors that you have to
Mm-hmm.
transfer outdoors.
Angela, if you're listening, I feel like you'd be into this. You should go to this seed sowing thing.
Yes,
Because she
it's
always
fun.
starts her, well, I don't know if she always, but last year she started her seeds, and I remember like seeing her tiny little indoor greenhouse.
See, and I think that there is some benefit to doing some things indoors, and depending on your location. I haven't had good luck with peppers
Mm-hmm.
doing winter sowing, and I think that some people say that peppers should be done indoors first. Um, but I also have a lot of rabbits, and
Yeah.
they eat my stuff. So I
Uh-huh.
need to figure out a solution that'll keep the rabbits out. I feel like Farmer McGregor. He's
Um, well, I think you might be talking to the wrong person. I would like to be the person that grows my own food. However, the potatoes that we grew last year are still in the ground. And it is January.
We
So,
had very little luck with potatoes, but I did do carrots once, and that was really awesome.
mm-hmm.
Carrots turned out fantastic, and I fermented them. Oh,
Mm-hmm.
I still dream about those fermented carrots because they stay crisp, and it's almost like a pickle, but not quite a
Mm-hmm.
pickle.
Mm-hmm.
They're delicious.
I've tried fermented carrots. Well, I've tried fermenting like store-bought carrots, and I didn't think that they were very good, and I think it's because they were store-bought.
Probably they need to be organic, and see, because mine were growing. I just, they had the dirt on them. Not
Mm-hmm.
all, I mean, I wiped the dirt off, but they were still natural from the outside, not
Mm-hmm.
sprayed with something in the grocery store.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so I want to do carrots again because I didn't do them last year, but I
Mm-hmm.
want to do them this year because those were easier. And I did a bunch of onions last year, and I don't know if I didn't cure them properly, but they so I kept a bunch of them. I still have a few, but I can see that they're growing sprouts, and then some of them actually turned into soil again. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen.
What?
So it like decomposed inside of its, you know how onions, it's a shell, right? So it's
Mm-hmm.
almost like a hollow shell, and you open it up and it's full of this black soil, like just perfect,
Hmm.
like it it composted itself essentially inside of the onion. I've never
Weird.
seen. I was like, this is wild and
Yeah.
awesome. But yeah, so onions, I don't know. For as much room as they took up, I didn't have a lot of like bounty because I don't know that I preserved them properly. You know?
Okay. Well,
But I don't know. And then last year I planted asparagus and strawberries,
I've heard good things
and
about asparagus.
they can grow together. They're friends. And
Mm-hmm.
the asparagus grows tall, which provides shade for the strawberries, and the strawberries provide weed control for the asparagus. So they're like they're buddies. But you have to wait before you can actually eat asparagus. They have to grow for like a year or
Oh
two.
yeah. But then you just have them forever. That's what my
Yeah,
sister
but they
has.
regrow. Exactly. That's why I wanted to do that. Same with the strawberries. It's you plant it and then you're done. That's why I
Mm-hmm.
got really frustrated, because it was like, man, you have to do a garden every single year. Why can't they just like, plant itself? Like my cherry tomatoes, they figured out the how to live in my environment where I'm like lazy gardening to the max,
Mm-hmm.
I need it to take care of itself.
I don't think that's how plants work.
It should be.
I just have house plants, but you have to take care of those ones.
Oh, and I overwater my house plants because I love them so hard.
Yeah.
Do
I can get in that pattern too sometimes.
you grow flowers?
No, just plants. That's the only thing I can keep alive. I have like a fiddle fig, and then I don't know what the other name is for the other one, but I just call it a rubber plant. But it's not a rubber, like it. I don't get rubber from it. Like it's just like I don't know what it's called, but that's what I call it. And those two are my biggest ones, and they are happy. They I have had the rubber plant when I lived in Utah, and it is so much happier in Arkansas.
Oh, everybody's happier in Arkansas.
Yes. But it was like really, really hard to like get it to grow in Utah because it's just so dry there. But here,
Hmm.
like I just like put it outside and it just like lives its best life
Does it
in the
boggle your
summer.
mind that people live in locations where if the water wasn't being pumped to your house, you wouldn't have it?
No, because I lived in that location for 10 years. I know.
But it
It,
does it boggle your mind that people choose to live like that?
kind of like it the thing that I think about more often than that is that when people here will be like, we're in a drought, we're all gonna, like, they start freaking out about being in a drought, and I'm like, okay, I understand that from your perspective this is a drought. However, like actual animals and plants are dying in a big way in other places in like real droughts that I've been involved, like
Mm.
it lived through like real droughts. So I'm not sure that I would call this a drought. There's like 3 rivers and 2 lakes like right there. I think we're gonna be okay.
That's what we were talking about. So we're watching this show. I don't know if you've seen it. It's called Last Man Standing, or Last
Mm-mm.
Man on Earth. That's what it is. Last Man on Earth. And it's like an end of the world apocalyptic thing where there's only one guy left, and then he's not actually the last man. Then there's a bunch of like 5 or 6 other characters that come in, but they get basically have the whole country to themselves. And I
Mm-hmm.
was like, where would be the most habitable location in the United States? That would you'd be the safest.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you know, and you'd have fresh water, but there's no food. There's no like animals in this series, which is they find a cow, but there's not a lot of creatures that are alive. I don't know. Like
Hmm.
it's an interesting show. It actually came on like 2017 or something like that. It came on
Mm-hmm.
pre-COVID, which is interesting. I was like, this didn't age well because everybody died because of a virus.
Or maybe it was like
It was like
chumming
a
the
warning.
waters. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is what's gonna happen, guys. Get ready.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh. But yeah,
We
we didn't
watched.
watch it
Uh,
back then. It's old.
yeah. We watched this show. I last weekend I started season 1, episode 1 of this show called Blind Frog Ranch, and then I finished the entire 3 seasons uh before the weekend was over because it was that good.
Really?
Yes, but it's very corny. You have to like I will give you a warning. It's like a reality TV show where these guys are like treasure hunting slash like alien encounters slash like true crime kind of, and it's pretty ridiculous, but they are um in Utah and they own this land that is not far away from like, well, it's in an area that has like a lot of supernatural
Like
activity.
the ranch,
Yeah.
Skinwalker Ranch type
Yeah, it's
thing.
like 20 miles from there.
Oh.
And so they have like they find like a bunch of treasure that was buried and they're trying to figure it out, and like it there's other like spooky things that happen on the land. It's just like really really good.
But it's
But
not a true story. It's just a
no,
fun story.
no, it's like reality TV. It's like
So,
these people in real life like following them.
oh. So it's like Skinwalker Ranch, but
Yeah,
not
yeah,
not that particular spot.
yeah, but 20 miles away and more about treasure digging than supernatural.
More treasury than so
Mm-hmm.
not supernatural at all, but
It
you
no,
said some alien.
there is some supernatural slash alien stuff going on.
Mm,
Mm-hmm.
interesting. All right, I
But
could watch that.
it's more about treasure digging. And I watched like the first 2 episodes and I was like hooked. I was like, this is my life now.
What is it? Frog something?
Blind Frog Ranch.
Blind Frog Ranch. All right, cool. I like treasure. Like pirate treasure? Like when I think treasure, I think of
Yeah,
like jewels and gold doubloons.
kind of. They
Interesting.
don't really know where it came from or why it's there.
Hmm. And it's in the middle of the desert.
Yep.
Interesting.
And so we did that last weekend, and then this weekend we like went over to Bentonville, and we went to the Momentary because we'd never been there. Have you ever been there?
Oh, I've been wanting to go. What's it like?
It's kind of trippy, man.
Oh.
Like it's like a modern art museum mixed with like a sound bath.
Hmm.
So you're like looking at art, but then also there's like I don't know if it's always like this, but we've only been the one time we went on Saturday, and like literally we walked in and there was like art on the walls or whatever, and then you like just hear noises that sound like aliens, and I was like, are the aliens coming?
Oh my god.
And then I like walked into the next room and it was like this movie that was playing that had like no dialogue or anything. It was just like film of, I don't know, like different scenes. I think their theme right now is the Amazon because it all looked like stuff in the Amazon. And like
Oh.
you literally like lay on these giant pillows and just like watch this film, and it's just like alien sounds, and it feels somewhat like a sound bath. And then you walk into the next room and then there's like exotic fish, and then you walk into the next room and there's like a robot spine, and you just like lay on the ground and look at the robot spine, and the lights go, and then the sound goes, and it's real weird.
That
But
sounds way cool.
it was way cool. And then we got up and we're like, all right, because there's this bar there too. So we're like, we'll go up to the tower bar and see what's going on. But then we like walked into like a private party. They had no signs saying it was a private party, but it was like one of those, like, you probably some like Walmart executives, something, like everybody there was fancy. And I was like, boo, I don't want to get murdered. Let's go. And then the elevator would not go. And so I was just like staring at the elevator, pushing the button over and over again, like in shame. Cause I was like, oh my gosh. And Cole's like, why are you freaking out? I was like, I'm so embarrassed. And then we're like walking through the parking lot. And there was this other couple that was like doing the same thing. I was like, why did you guys not put signs?
Well, I would like to go. Is it free?
Yeah, it's totally free.
See, this is my kind of place.
I know, that's what I was thinking. I was like, that's why I should tell her about it.
I know. But we could go and go to the bar whenever they're not having a party.
Yeah. Well, it has like views and stuff. Like it's like on the roof. It's like almost like a rooftop, but it's like enclosed.
Very cool. Oh, you know where I went with my parents?
Where's that?
Pinky Swear. Have you
I
been
love
there?
Pinky Swear. Yeah, I always try to convince all my friends to go, and they won't go.
Oh, well, I will go with you then because I enjoyed it. Jed was not like super impressed. I guess it is kind of girly. But they have this beef tartare thing that is amazing, and I still think about it.
I follow them on Instagram, and I keep seeing them post about their cheesecake popsicles, and I really want one.
I would like to try that as well. All right. We need to do a Pinky Swear night then.
Yes, let's do it, because I've been trying. I have a friend that she's been on the podcast before, Megan. I've been trying to go on a double date with her. I was like, when are we going on a double date to Pinky Swear? And she her and her boyfriend are always too busy and too cool for us. Actually, not true, because she'll come over to my house and play games, but
that's
nice. Double date, we're both our schedules never align.
Yeah, no, I get it.
But yeah, so we can go to Pinky Swear for sure.
All right, cool, let's do it.
Yeah,
I got a new planner for the 2024, so I will put it in my calendar that I'm trying to be really good about using.
I am not good about using calendars. No? Oh, we should go. Oh, wait, maybe not. Okay, so here's the other thing is it's Colton's birthday tomorrow. So I keep trying to convince him that he wants to go on like a mini trip next weekend. Because I was like, I already had to take half the day off for this meeting. So maybe I just leave after this meeting and we go on like a trip to Tulsa or something.
But what's in Tulsa?
I don't know. Like, I've never been there.
We went to Tulsa once for a comedy show, and there was nobody. There was so many crackheads. I've never seen so many like people that were not in their right mind, like wandering around. It was a little bizarre. I was like, I don't know if I want to come back to Tulsa.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like Kansas City too, but that one's a little bit further away.
I've never been out that far. I should go to Kansas City. Is it cool? I heard there's a museum.
Yeah, I went to the museum. It's like the Atkins Freeman or something like that. I went there, and well, really, I went to Kansas City to go get a quesadilla.
Because a good quesadilla.
Because there's this place that I really like that has a franchise in quesadilla or in
which one is it? What is it?
Kansas City. So the franchise that I like is called Costa Vida. It is a big deal in Utah, and it is one of the number one things that I miss about Utah is Costa Vida. And the queso, and they make their own tortillas there.
So they're like good. Real deal.
I don't know if I would say real deal, but it is definitely. So it's like Subway for Mexican food, or like Chipotle, like a different kind of Chipotle. Yeah. But it's way like it cannot be compared to them. It's way better.
Yeah, because all we have is Chipotle, and there is Moe's. I don't know if you've been there.
Yeah,
it's not that good.
Every time I go to Moe's, I always see like there's like people there, and they're like I just like legit every single time I go to Moe's and we eat inside, I'll see somebody there and they'll be like, it's just not Costa Vida or Cafe
No,
Rio. Like Cafe Rio and Costa Vida are two rivals in Utah. And they're both the same thing basically, but like
that's so funny.
you're either a Costa Vida person or you're a Cafe Rio person. But every like people will every time I go inside of Moe's, people are just like, it's just not the same. So I think if we had enough money to start a franchise of that, I think there would be enough people here from who've lived in
That'd be
Utah who
into
miss
it.
it. Mm-hmm.
My very first job was at a burrito place. It was
Mm.
it was a brand new place they wanted to franchise, but I don't know, I think it was too expensive for them to pull it off. But yeah, I learned how to make a burrito, how to properly roll it.
Mm.
And that was a life lesson that I still use to this day. And I
I
brag about it all the time, how I can roll a burrito.
I can't do it. I'm not good at it, but Colton is good at it.
I have so much skill doing that. That was a fun job.
What burrito place did you work at?
I mean, it doesn't exist anymore, and there was only the one. It was called Volcanoes, and
Oh,
they closed down. They didn't make it,
oh no.
but it was
I
good.
worked I worked at
We
a
used to
place called
make.
Del Taco before.
Yeah, I've heard of Del Taco. I have a friend who lived in California, I think, and that's where she ate it.
Yeah.
But I've never tried it. But I am a fan of all food, so I will try anything once.
Del Taco is even more fast food than Costa Vida.
Yeah.
It's like Taco Bell, the same thing. But I will say Del Taco is probably better than Taco Bell because I at least know that they make their own beans at Del Taco.
Oh yeah, and Taco Bell, their beans might not even really be beans.
Yeah, right.
Like
But I worked at Del
bean
Taco when I lived
shaped.
in Colorado,
Oh, that's fun.
and my whole family is obsessed with Del Taco. Like my sister, when she visits any place that has a Del Taco, she will buy 30 burritos and like take them in her suitcase to her house to
And like
freeze.
freeze them.
Yeah, she's obsessed.
I made burritos once whenever I was a good housewife, and I would make burritos and freeze them and be so proud of myself for hand making and freezing burritos. But I
I
don't do
think
that anymore.
I think Colton bought the stuff to do that for breakfast burritos, and I love that
It
for
is a
us.
delightful, yeah, it's smart if you can. What you have to do a whole bunch. That's the secret,
Mm-hmm.
because it does take it's work, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But once you do it, then you're loaded up. I wish I would do that. I should probably take like one day a week and just prep a whole bunch of stuff and make it easy. Because we were talking about, Jed got this curry sauce the other
Mm-hmm.
day. It's in a jar, okay, and I was like, we should learn how to make it, that way we can jar our own, and then save money, not have to buy the expensive stuff. So
Mm-hmm.
it's like, he's like, yeah, it's a good idea. I'm like, that is a good idea. I don't know about the execution of the idea, but it's a good idea.
I don't know about curry, but I could teach you to make butter chicken. I'm really good at making butter chicken.
Ooh, yes,
I
that would
think
be
that's
good.
kind of
I
a
think,
curry.
yeah, it is. That's one of the family's favorites too, because the kids will actually eat a butter chicken.
Mm-hmm. I that is the one thing that because I haven't been eating meat for like all of January.
Oh yeah.
And my husband was like yesterday when we were grocery shopping, he was like, Cole was like, man, I really like can't wait for this month to be over because I really miss butter chicken.
Oh.
And I'm like, I'll make it for you. It's totally fine. But
So
he's like,
are you
no.
gonna do another test before you introduce chicken again, or what's your
Um,
plan once the
I
elimination period is over?
I don't have a plan really.
Mm-hmm.
I was scheduled to test on Friday, but then we had that meeting on Friday, so I had to move it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna test again on Monday, a week from today, and I don't know. I'll just see what comes of that. But I don't really feel any different. I haven't lost any weight or anything. The only thing I can say is that like this might be TMI, but my poops are better.
Well, hey, that's nice. That's actually
So
good. Everything starts in the gut. You
yeah.
should look into the hormone oils
Oh yeah,
from
you just
from
posted about them,
Rocasa.
right?
Maybe. Did I? I don't know.
On the Wellness
Oh,
Instagram.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah, I think I
I
liked
don't
it.
know. Maybe we did. I don't know. I don't pay. We both do the page, so it's hard to remember all the things. But
Well, it's okay.
but yeah, I would look into that. There's a Facebook group. It's like Rocasa VIP, so you can
Mhm.
join that and then learn all the things. Because I haven't tried everything, but everybody that I hear is like ranting and raving about how amazing it is.
Yeah, I can do that, but I also have um like all of my knowledge about actual like herbs and stuff that I could use too.
That's true. Herbs are good. I'm gonna do an herb, oxymel and herbal tincture making workshop in March. It was supposed to be in
Nice.
January, but it got moved to March. So I'm gonna
I've
learn about that.
That's how I learned about herbs mostly is
So do you
by
know what an oxymel is and why you'd want to
yeah,
use it? I
yeah.
would love to know that if
Do
you have
you
that. Oh,
So
wow.
you're going to have a class and you don't know about it?
I'm not doing the class. I'm participating in the class.
Ah, okay.
We have
Um
Anna, the herbal gal. She's doing the class.
well, an oxymel is a so like tinctures are made out of a substance and alcohol, and an oxymel is made out of a substance and vinegar.
Mm.
And so oxymel is like if you want to put like all of your herbs into a vinegar and let it ferment, then that's how you make an oxymel. And then if you want to make a tincture, then you put like some people will you can make a lot of things out of tinctures. It doesn't just have to be herbs. Like um, some people will put their placenta in a tincture,
Mm.
and then use it as a hormonal substitute
I've
later.
heard of the placenta pills, but never a tincture.
Actually, placenta. If you were going to get my suggestion, I would recommend getting a placenta tincture over a placenta pill because the placenta pills will expire, and the
Yeah.
tincture never expires.
Oh, so you could use it
Yeah.
more. So I did the placenta encapsulation with my
Mhm.
last baby,
Mhm.
and she gave me chunks of raw placenta. And
Mhm.
so I made a raw placenta and blueberry smoothie
Mhm.
like within my first few days of
Mhm.
postpartum
Yeah.
and choked that down. But I never did commit to like taking the pills regularly. Like I did it first. And then, like you're saying, I kind of got a little sketched out. Like, how long do these stay good for? Like
Mhm.
I believe I had them in the freezer. I don't remember exactly, but
Mhm.
yeah, I didn't commit to it to know for sure if it was beneficial for me or not.
Well, here's a fun fact. If you have a girl baby and you can save her placenta in a tincture, then when she gets her period, it will help her with her period
Oh my
transition.
gosh, that's wild.
Mm-hmm. Isn't it?
Oh, that's really
And
cool.
then if you keep it long enough to help, it will help with menopause for you.
Oh my gosh. Well, too bad I didn't keep any of it. Actually, I
Well,
do
you had
have,
boys though, right?
yeah, I did have boys. That's true. That wouldn't help me. They just take from you. No, I'm just kidding. I
I
do.
don't know.
I feel like they took a lot of my brain cells. I would say that all the time. I was like, I used to be really, really smart. And then sometimes, I
I
don't
don't know
know.
about that. Like I think that they probably do take some of your brain function away, but also like I think they give in other ways too. Like I read stuff on how it like helps with your women who had boys like have less heart problems than women who had girls.
Oh, well, that's good to know. I do
Yeah.
know that their like DNA floats around in your body
Mhm.
forever,
Mhm.
which is kind of sweet.
Yeah, it's like that mother's instinct. Maybe it's because you know when something's wrong because a piece of them is still in you.
Yeah. Ooh, so this, I don't know. I did tell you about the Wolf Woman book I was reading. I can't remember
Mhm.
what it's called now. Running with Wolves or something like that.
Mhm.
Um, the one of the chapters is all about leaning into your instinct, and that is like one of our superpowers is having instinct. I was like,
Mm-hmm.
that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just learning to trust yourself.
Totally. I
Mm.
think I think it's interesting because like sometimes with Colton, like I'm super connected to him, and so sometimes like I can tell when he's in trouble at work and I'm at work. Like
Mm.
I think I have like my connection is so good that it doesn't like it's almost like telepathic.
Do you think he's your soulmate?
Totally.
And so that would make sense to your like connected.
Mm-hmm.
Do you believe in past lives?
Yeah, I think so.
What if do you ever think about that? Like, what if you were connected in a past
I do.
life? I
I
always
do think. I think we were because we should have met like 15 times before we met, but the universe just like set us up to meet when we were actually like ready to be
but
with each
kept you
other.
close enough to like
Mm-hmm.
keep the fire
Like we
burning.
went to the same fireworks show like a year and a half before we met each other in Washington D.C.
I have a friend that shared a bunch of pictures of her and her husband. Surely it wasn't you, but maybe I don't know. But somebody shared a bunch of pictures, and they're like, "These are the 4 different times that I should have met my husband," and he's in pictures like in the background,
Oh, really?
where it like
No,
just
we weren't
happened to
that
be.
close.
I was like, "Whoa, that's wild!" that like
Yeah,
he's right over here, he's right over here, and it's like this, not like creepy, but like just
that's cool.
random. Yeah, cool.
It's small world.
I
Well,
know.
we didn't realize it until maybe we'd been together for like a year or something. And I was telling him a story about when there was this really bad storm in when I lived in Washington D.C. and it knocked out power for everyone for like 2 weeks or something ridiculous. And I
Ugh.
was like, yeah, there was this really bad storm. And I was like caught in the middle of it with my friend. And we were like driving around and we got pulled over by the police. And then the police let us go because they had to go like help with emergency response. And he was like, oh, yeah, I know. I was out of power for 2 weeks, too. And I was like, what? That's weird because we only lived like not that far from each other.
What time of year was it?
Let's see. It probably would have been like early summer, late spring.
Well, at least it wasn't cold or hot.
Yeah, right.
Because I remember being out of power after hurricanes and stuff for weeks at a time. You have to deal with just like fans, and you're in the heat of humid
Louisiana.
Louisiana.
Yeah.
Oh, and then you leave the doors open because you just want a little bit of breeze, but then you get eaten alive by mosquitoes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's a terrible, terrible thing.
It sounds terrible.
No electricity
You
in
need a screen
Louisiana
door.
is, yeah, that's what you would need if you did it right.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I have a husband who knows how to fix generators. So,
That's handy, very handy. Does it the whole home generators, or like
yeah.
the
Mm-hmm.
that's a true luxury.
Yeah, right. We have a little one that would run our freezers, I guess.
Yeah, that you like a portable one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But that
wait.
one, man, when we would take it camping, I don't know what it is. There's something. It's like the gift that keeps on giving. That generator. We one time we took it camping and we just had it on and we're like, well, it's the last time we're gonna go camping for the year, so let's just run it out of gas so that we don't have to worry about like the gas going bad or anything. So we just like left it running. We left it running and it ran for like 4 days and we still didn't. It still didn't run out of gas.
Wow.
Yeah, so I was like, let's just turn it off. We can't let it run anymore. We gotta go home.
Yeah,
But
that's pretty cool.
I don't know what is fancy about our generator, but our generator will run forever.
So, what do you power it while you're camping? Do you have like an RV?
We used to have a trailer that we bought this trailer for. I've never told you about the trailer.
Mm-mm.
We bought this trailer on auction for $600,
Oh,
and we knew that it was a hoarder trailer. But then when we started cleaning it out, I like found a bunch of syringes, so it was like
ew,
a druggy hoarder trailer. So I tried not to get AIDS for like 6 months while I cleaned it all
ew.
out. And guess who didn't find one single needle when he was cleaning? Colton. Guess who found all of them? Me. And legit, like it was so scary because I didn't realize that it was as big of a problem as it was until I like pulled out a like handful of stuff from where I wasn't looking. I just like scooped it and I like saw a bunch of syringes in my hand and I was like,
Oh my gosh.
I was like freaked out, but then it was fine. I cleaned it really, really well and I wore gloves and stuff after that.
Yeah. If I'm, like, cleaning a garage or something like that, I have to wear gloves, like, thick gloves. I'm afraid of bugs mostly, but yeah, syringes would be no bueno.
Yeah, it was not good. But anyway, so we cleaned it out and then we used it for like 3 years. And then we put a new roof on it and we probably invested probably about $1,500 total into the thing. And then we sold it for like 4 grand when we
Nice.
moved. So we made a deal. We made quite a bit of money on it by flipping it. And we got to use it when we went camping. Are you still there? Okay, well, I am guessing that that is a sign that it's time to end. I hope everybody has a wonderful day and